Welcome, welcome, welcome to the MoneyWise Channel, a place where we talk about inspirational things and setting up goals. So today we're going to answer some more emails because I'm having a lot of fun doing that. And this particular one, someone was asking me about moments of silence and what did I think about it? Did I think it was necessary or something people shouldn't do or things of that nature? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this video Moment of Silence. And I'm just going to give my opinion all the way across the board on what I think about it. So first of all, if you ever heard of moment of silence, most of the time we think of that during, say, prayer, reflection, mourning, meditation, military salute. That's most of the times when we think about it. Right before we're about to eat, everybody get quiet, hold their hands. Someone has passed, stand there and get quiet. Say, well, let's do a moment of silence. Also, they call that minute of silence, minute of quietness. It's a way of showing respect or being quiet as far as tapping in with whatever's going on during meditation. It can be an energy transfer. If you care about somebody, they're in a hospital, you'll see people hold each other's hands and let's just be quiet for a minute and just feel each other and just move the energy between the two people. It's very powerful, a moment of silence. Living in a world that's so loud, there's always so much frequency moving around far as loudness. To be quiet and just let it where you don't really hear anything, but you just feel it. It's just a frequency of silence. It's very important. It's kind of like if you get in an argument with someone and they're going back and forth with you and you just get quiet. They can't argue with themselves. So immediately they're going to start quieting down also and trying to find more of a place of silence for themselves, because it feels silly to keep yelling if someone else is just quiet looking at you. It don't make sense. So when you look at it from that point, things start to make more sense to you as you walk down the line. So a moment of silence is very interesting depending on the perspective or the way that you're coming into this moment of silence. But it's a very powerful thing when it's used the right way. It was a lady by the name of Marina, Abromovic, I believe it was, and she did this thing. I believe it was called The Artist is Present, and it was a moment of silence thing that she brought all these strangers in, and she just sat in the seat at a chair, and each one of them sat down with her for 1 minute, and they were just quiet together, and they would just look at each other and engage with each other and just vibe out. And many people sat there and some cried, some were happy, some felt, it was just all these different feelings that people felt just sitting there with her for 1 minute and being quiet. That's it. It was called a moment of silence. And what was so crazy about the video, if you go watch it, about Marina Abromovic, moment of silence, is that she had a boyfriend that showed up that she hadn't seen for years. She hadn't seen him. I guess they had broke up maybe decades ago. And when they broke up, they decided to walk on different sides of the Great China Wall and the Great Wall of China. And they walked and they met each other in the middle and gave each other a hug and then went their separate ways. And they had never seen each other again. And then when she was quiet with her eyes closed, they snuck him in and had him sit down. And when she looked up and saw him, she started crying and he started crying and laughing, but they never really said anything to each other. And they reached out, touched each other across the table. Then he left, and it was just a transfer of energy, which was very powerful. For you guys that like hip hop and know who JayZ is, the rapper JayZ, he's married to Beyonce. He has a video called Picasso, and in that video Picasso, he has Marina Abromovic, and I hope I'm saying her name right. She's in the video also. So if you watch this video, you'll see he's rapping to her and she's looking at him and she's quiet and she's just staring in his eyes and they're staring back and forth with each other. It's a pretty powerful performance. She owns a performance type situation. She runs and teaches people how to perform, different vibes and different movements. And if you're into the art situation, and all, since the song that JayZ did was called Picasso, you know that he's into art. So it was more of an art performance together. Those that are into that was doing it. I'm bringing that up because just showing you that the power of the moment of silence. All these things have something to do with it. Energy transfer, just showing the different techniques of life, the different vibes of life, being able to let people feel you by just being quiet. Sometimes if you have a headache, if you don't feel well, the first thing you usually do is get quiet. You'll say, you know what, I just need to sit down and I just need to relax. I just need to let everything slow down around me. That's what you do. You could be at work and you see someone not feeling good. The first thing you do, you'll be like, hey, let me do your job for you. Go to the bathroom, just get you something to drink, some water or something like that, and just be quiet. And when they'll go and they'll spend that little moment of silence by themselves, and they'll come back out and they'll be stronger, or at least good enough to be able to move forward a little bit longer to finish their shift. Something about being quiet is important. When we see people loud, we say something's wrong. A lot of times you hear people say the loudest person in the room is the weakest, because we know that they're not conserving their energy. You need to be peaceful. We do equal, when you think of peace, you think peace equals silence. Peace is not usually equal to loudness. There's a power in silence. There's a power even in pausing. Like someone asks you a question, especially in the public, it's powerful if you stop for 1 second, let there be a moment of silence before you speak. Just a moment of silence before you speak. They say, woo, 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 woo. And if you just look at them like, get quiet. It ain't even have to be a minute of silence. Just one pause of a couple seconds, and they will respect you way more because they know you think before you speak. Just in that moment of silence. It's really something to think about, and you should practice it today. As you move around today, make sure you look people right in their eyes. Make sure when they ask you questions, you have a moment of silence. Make sure before you get out the car, if you play music, turn the car off and just sit there for a minute and just get a moment of silence before you walk into the building, and just use eye contact and just be peaceful. Try it out today and see what it does for you. See if it doesn't give you a certain level of energy and of confidence as you move around today. Sometimes we just need to practice certain things, try it out, see if it works, and I'm telling you it will. As you go into the stock, if you're doing stocks today, before you do it, have a moment of silence. If you're transferring money, if you're whatever you're doing for as business today, sit there. If it gets overwhelming or whatever, get quiet and just have a moment of silence. If you're about to do a business meeting, you got your suit on, or you're ready to go. Before you walk in that door, a moment of silence. Before you even get in the building, a moment of silence. If you're at your desk, before you go to have the meeting, to sit there and have a moment of silence. It's something to think about. And during that moment of silence, see how you want things to be. Set your mind, set your goals as you're getting ready to go in there and handle your business. And I believe if you do that, this will help you. So, hey, remember, no matter what you do today, to smile and to remember, plans may change, but goals stay the same. Like and subscribe to the MoneyWise channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Yep.